All right, and one of the biggest shows on earth is invading Chicago right now, Higgs.
Oh, my gosh, it's Lollapalooza.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that something? One of the acts is Lady Gaga. A pizzeria hosted a Lady Gaga look-alike contest, and if you're wondering what the pizza has to do with anything, Lady Gaga often sends slices to hungry fans waiting in line at concerts around the world.
Oh, see, I like the one with the helmet.
There you go. The winner got tickets to her sold-out Lollapalooza show tonight. Now, come on now. I'm not going to go out and fight the crowds. I freely admit that. I'm obviously have my own guitar, but I am intrigued by the economics behind all of this Lollapalooza stuff. And joining us this morning, Brenda Palm, the executive director of the Parkway Foundation. They partner with Lollapalooza, and the proceeds go to the Chicago Park District. And Lisa Hickey, Festival Marketing Director for C3 Presents. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
I apologize for this music is going to be much better at Lollapalooza than what you just heard me play with these things.
Just a little more polished.
It's grown and grown, hasn't it?
Huge acts, Lady Gaga. This is, I think that's the biggest act you've ever had. I mean, you've had Green Day and good acts and things in the past, but I think Lady Gaga kind of spans generations. They're calling her the Madonna of this generation. How do you bring it in? How did you guys get to that level?
Well, the funny thing is Lady Gaga actually played Lollapalooza in 2007, and she performed on one of our smallest stages early in the afternoon, so hardly anybody got the chance to see her. And now she's this world-dominating force in music, and we're expecting a crowd of probably 80,000 tonight to see her headline.
Wow, you know what? How many stages do you have set up over there?
8 stages, 140 bands over 3 days. Music goes from 11:15 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
What other amenities do you have? Obviously, the music's the reason why everybody's coming, but what other amenities do you have that people say, well, can I get a meal down there? Do we have to go and leave and then come back?
We actually have some great food this year. We've worked with Chef Graham Elliott to curate the food court. So we have some great Chicago restaurants like Lou Malnati's, Graham Elliott, obviously, Big Star, Kuma's Corner, a lot of the iconic restaurants around Chicago.
What are the economics of this? How does this play out? First of all, I mean, did we figure out how much it costs? I mean, you know, sort of what's the cost?
And tickets are what, 200 or something like that?
And where does the money go?
Well, I'm with Parkways Foundation, and we formed this partnership with C3 Presents in the Chicago Park District in 2005. So over 10.25% of all the proceeds actually come to Parkways Foundation, and then we invest those into neighborhood parks throughout the city. So the idea is that we launch new programming for kids, build new playgrounds, soccer fields, this sort of thing. So it really is kind of a civic partnership. You know, C3 came into town and said, we have an idea, we have a business model, let's make it work. We want to make this city a better place, not just Grant Park, but citywide.
Brenda, explain the deal right now, because I understand you recently extended the agreement, so this is going to go on for a while. So what are the new terms of how long we're going to have Lollapalooza and parks making millions from it?
Currently, the agreement is through 2018. So the great thing for Parkways is that we're in a position to really sustain and plan for the future. So we know this revenue stream is coming in. We can be sure that these programs are taken care of in the future. We're especially focused in the Austin neighborhood right now. We're really doing a full park renovation in Moore Park. So it just gives us the opportunity to say, okay, this is the kind of impact we're going to have in neighborhoods.
How about the weather, too? The weather's always very important. And plus the air-conditioned buses. In the past, they've had buses parked.
And you have to be hydrated, properly hydrated. And preferably not with a lot of alcohol, because it's going to be hot.
But it's not going to be super hot relative to some years. I remember last year doing heat stories about, oh my God, people were dropping like flies, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening this year at all.
No, the actual first year it was 105 degrees when we did it in Grant Park in 2005. This year, mid-80s. It's going to be the best
But it's
weather.
sold out, right?
It is actually not sold out. We still have tickets available at lollapalooza.com. And, you know, to just add to how impactful this event really is to the city of Chicago, we had a study commissioned last winter, and it generates $189 million for the city.
Wow.
80 million of that is directly from the festival itself. 110,000 unique people attend the festival, and about 50% of those come from outside of Illinois.
Well, but it's a unique crowd sometimes, too. I wanted to ask you, though, about Lollapalooza around the country. These concerts go on around the country, don't they?
No, actually, it's no longer a touring festival. In 2005, we reinvented it as a destination festival. It only lives in Chicago 3 days a year.
Beautiful.
That is, I would ask, you know, as far as Lady Gaga's concerned, now, were you guys around in 2007? I mean, what was the reaction? I'd like to know what the reaction to her was on that small stage in 2007, and now coming back huge. I mean, every performance.
She wears the same costumes.
She came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that's a generational thing. But to a lot of us, she just came. She blossomed from nowhere.
Yeah, she really credits Lollapalooza with being, you know, kind of one of those first things that propelled her, kind of making her big debut. And I wasn't there to see it, so I missed it, but I've seen YouTube videos of it. The costume changes, I think maybe she had one. And from what I've heard, you can expect about 15 tonight.
And there's no singular demographic. She just spans, you know, all interests. It's really fun.
Well, and again, if you want to buy tickets, how do you do that?
Yeah, tickets are still available if you just want to come for tonight. Lollapalooza.com, or you can buy them on site. The box office is at Michigan.
What's the difference in price?
$90. And if you were going to go see one of her concerts, standalone concerts, I don't think you could expect to pay that much, especially because every date's sold out.
And it's going to be a beautiful night.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for visiting with us. We greatly appreciate it.
Lollapalooza
all weekend here in the great city of Chicago. And it's going to be a beautiful day today. Don's here with the forecast. Don?